I want to get your reaction, not just to the speech, but a portion of that speech where Joe Biden says it's a trail of broken promises for the black community. And if you look at the poll numbers, there are broken promises, but they're broken promises from the Democrat Party. The community has been nothing but loyal to Democrats, but nothing but let down by the Democrat Party. Now they're looking at maybe Donald Trump.
Well, Sean, I think you should have just answered the question, because that's exactly everything I was going to say. You're absolutely correct. And one thing that I'm reminded of is Trump in 2016, when he said, hey, your schools are no good. This is going on in community. That's going on in community. What do you have to lose by giving me a shot? And what we saw under Joe Biden is African Americans have lost a tremendous amount of wealth due to inflation, which I can call stolen money, and his government spending, which has allowed this to spur. And we understand the reason why Joe Biden is making this pitch to kids that are just graduating from university. And that's because of the polling that you just mentioned. You look at CNN polling showing 35 and under African Americans advancing in their favorability for Trump, especially African American men. That's a core audience. Morehouse is a black all-boys school, university. So this is, I think, one of the most interesting plays we've seen in politics in many years, where Republicans may have an edge, and it's with minority voters, whether it be black, Hispanic, and other.
And it could really move the needle. But Gianno, while we have you, I want to move to this, because you might want to cringe here. I did. It's a presidential rap battle on Instagram. The Biden-Harris campaign dropping this is a quote, diss track using rapper Kendrick Lamar's lyrics to slam former President Donald Trump. Listen.
It's always been about love and hate. Now let me say I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this. If I catch flight, it's gonna be direct.
Gianno, they have a really weird sense of humor, because I watched that and I actually don't think that's funny at all. I think that it's insulting to black voters trying to communicate with them in that way. You're talking about the graduates at Morehouse, and the black community overall is an educated community. You can speak to them on the issues that matter. You can speak to them on the economy and how you're helping their communities. The biggest thing that we're hearing from blacks across this country is that they actually feel the resources that were dedicated to help their cause have actually been deflected in many big cities towards migrants, for example. And so they look at this administration and say, you're not continuing to help us. We supported you for that reason. Maybe we should consider going elsewhere.
Well, Jackie, again, you take all of my points like Sean.
Sorry.
You're absolutely right. Spot on, right on the money. And I got to tell you, younger folks recognize this for what it is. And it's not working. The pandering that has gone on in the black community for far too long, when they bring out Jay-Z, they do their Catfish Fridays, and Kool-Aid is no longer working. It lost its appeal. A lot of the loyal voters to the Democratic Party have been older African Americans, and those individuals don't have the same presence, those who experienced the civil rights movement and others, as they used to, because many folks have died and went on to be with the Lord, etc. Now, but I got to tell you though, this Kendrick Lamar Drake beef and how they're trying to implement it. For folks who've actually been following the beef, it does not favor Joe Biden in any way, but I can tell you it has inspired me, because I am going to be dropping my mixtape. I'm going by the name Gianni the Rapper, so I'll see you soon and be back to promote it on your show. I'm only kidding.
I was going to say,
Okay.
Wow, a new part of Gianno. I didn't know you had that. But let's, Gianno, wrap tapes over to presidential debates. We're a little over a month away from the first presidential debate. And if we're playing by Biden's rules, RFK will not be included, with the independent candidate saying it's all an attempt by Biden and Trump to avoid accountability for their past policies. Listen to this.
These two presidents ran up the biggest deficit in history. That's now driving the inflationary cycle in this country. President Trump, in 4 short years, ran up $8 trillion in debt, and President Biden is rushing to keep up with them. The two of them shut down our country, shut down 3.3 million businesses. They're the ones who are feeding the toxic polarization that is tearing our country apart. If we're going to save our country, we need to start looking at each other as Americans again.
whether it's true or not, I think we're all wondering the same thing, which is essentially why is Biden calling these shots?
If he makes the cut, he should be on the stage. If there's that many people that want to vote for him, it shouldn't be President Biden that makes that determination. We have a commission on debates that does that. Let them do that.
Gianno?
I 100% agree, especially when it's the compromise was no audiences for these debates. And I heard a comedian say the reason why they want no audiences is because it's going to be on CNN. So, of course, no one's watching there, so they get what they wish. But I'll tell you, though, what's really complicated for Joe Biden is RFK is further to the left on most issues than Joe Biden. And the idea is that he's going to pull away voters, especially if he gets such a major platform to give his views. I don't think that there's a truth to, well, they're concerned about somebody keeping them accountable. They're going to call each other out on each other's records, and so will the debate moderators, and hopefully it'll be fair, but, it may not be fair. So it may be a lot of Trump bashing, and that's what it comes out to be. But RFK Jr., I do think, should have a right to be on that stage. He needs to be able to call out Joe Biden, who's made some really terrible decisions for the country. And as an independent voice who has a lot of respect with young people, that may peel off some of those Biden voters right then and there, whether they go for RFK or Trump. Who knows? But he should have a way to get in as an independent with such wide reach.
He should have a chance. Gianno Caldwell, always great to see you. Thanks for being with us. Look
Thank you
forward
for
to
having
your
me.
rap album dropping.